Hi, I'm Everett. Welcome back to the shop. This is actually going to be a fun video for me to do just simply because of the fact that this is something I've been wanting to do for, well, a long time. Ever since I got the shaper actually, and well, even before that, but I didn't have a shaper to do it with. Now that I have the tool to mount in the tool post, or the clapper box rather, to do keyways and splines, I actually have a job for a friend. He's got a hub that he needed a metric keyway put in, and while I have imperial broaches, I don't have any metric ones. So I figured rather than ordering up a 7mm broach to do one job, I would use a tool that I already have and make the tool to fit the tool that I already have to make the slot. So hope you find it interesting. Again, it's I know other people have done it on YouTube, but I'm just still tickled to be able to do this just because I can now do it. So hope you find it interesting. Now the first step before I can do anything is to make sure the vise got trammed. What I've done is I set up a dial indicator on the clapper box, which is now locked. This is the best I could do to get in here, and by twitching and tightening and whatever, I've gotten to the point where the needle barely moves as I stroke it back and forth on the table here. So that's good to go. Next step is we're going to have to mount the piece in here. Now, just so I don't scratch it up too much, because this is already a nicely machined surface, we'll take a couple of the nicotinometers and use those as packing between the vise and the little hub here. Now, it does have a feature on this side, which is why I'm putting the plain side out. It'll make it easier for me to measure. There we go. Still got our caliper in there for measuring. Yep. There. All right. There we go. And I can see we're going to have a little bit of a clearance issue here, but we'll see. We shall see. I'm very happy with the fit of that thread. Now what we're going to do for ensuring squareness is we're going to take our piece of high-speed steel tooling, take a piece of high-speed steel blank, snug it in there. What we're going to do is we're going to line it up with the edge of the vise here. Helps you if you engage the clutch. That's actually pretty darn close, isn't it? There, that's square right there. So that's what this little flat is for. To keep it square while I tighten down the lock nut. Yep, and yep, we're still square. All right, I like it. Now the next step is back that off, bring this down, let's move it even further forward. Yep. Now what we need to do is touch off on the side here. For that we're going to use some more nicotinometer. Just slid through. That's our 0 point. Now, one small problem here is I don't have any sort of scale on the knobs here for traveling on the table either way. Doesn't have a digital readout, anything like that. I can bring it back. There we go. The thing is that measuring the diameter of this on the back side here is 3.974 inches divided by 2 makes 1 inch 987. So basically the best that I have to work with for gear in order to measure to get to center is I do have a 2-inch dial indicator. I need to move 1 inch 987 thousandths that way. That'll put the edge of the tool bit on the edge of center line. I'll still need to go another 1/8 of an inch, but at least this will get me in the ballpark. So, oops, wrong way. There we go. 1.9 there. There, 1.987. Looking through the hole, doing the sanity check. Yeah, it looks pretty much on center. Now we need to go another 1/8 of an inch. So I need to go another 125 thousandths. 125. Now look through the hole there. That thing looks pretty much bang on. Loosen this off. Tool blank comes out. Now this little tool bit that I've ground up is on center. I made sure that the actual cutting edge there is centered on the square. Now it is 4.5 or 4.5 millimeters of a tool bit. So, because we have to make a 7 millimeter keyway. Now, because we're going to make a 7 millimeter keyway and it's a 4.5 millimeter wide tool bit, what we're going to do is we'll go to depth and then we'll bring it up and then we'll cut other side. Like you. Now, bring this up and you have just enough clearance to get past the bolt head. Well, apart from the fact that my graduated collar here, at least for feeding down, I at least have one, but it's imperial. Everything else we'll be doing is in metric, so I've put a 0 to 10 millimeter dial indicator on the side. Everything's still zeroed like it was, and we'll be using that for our measurement as far as when we have to go side to side of the table. In order to establish our 0 as far as so we don't crash it while coming up on it, as far as their down feed, I'm going to bring the the tool post feed down. Just about touches. There we are. All right. And then theoretically, close that, and we should be in business. I will say right now, this is only like the third time I've used a shaper, third, maybe fourth time I've used a shaper since high school. So I'm probably doing something wrong, and if I am, let me know. But otherwise, cut me a little bit of slack. Right. And we have a bit of clearance either side as far as its travel. I know I'm probably going to be going a little slow. That's probably slow for aluminum, but I figure at this point it's probably easier to control. You see we're actually starting to take a little bit of a cut there because I brought it down before. Just a touch. There we are. There's your little knurled knob here, the brass knob for adjusting our zero. That's our zero. Now, oh dear. Diameter is 28 millimeters, and the depth of the, well, from the top here to the bottom of our groove should be 32. And I know I'm using both systems, so. Oh, there we go. Ooh. All right, that's a start. I like it. It's definitely in the center. I'm glad I'm getting to practice on aluminum first. Again, an actual machinist would probably cringe at some of the stuff I do. I never claimed to be an actual machinist. All right, let's measure. I don't think we're far enough, but we can measure anyway. We're looking for 32.12. We're just pretty much bang on 30 millimeters. Yeah, so we're at 31.8, so that gives us, say, another 10 or 15 of these. As redneck as that made me sound. All right. You know something? 32.06. Well, take one little. $32.1. We need 32.12. One more spring pass. Okay. $32.14. Hooray! All right. So it means that we came down 181 thousandths on the dial here. So it'll be 181 thousandths. 0. And back to 0. Take the backlash out. Ha ha ha! Excellent. Might just back it up a bit more. So now we're going to move the table. It doesn't really matter which side first, but well, actually this backlash is taken up that way. Let's add one millimeter. 1.25. There we go. Add 1.25 millimeters. We should clear. Just make sure. Yeah, we're clearing. Okay. So now we can just keep going down till it reads 181. There we go. We're to depth on the one side. Now theoretically we should be come on, lay in there. Yeah, 5.75 millimeters. Exactly what we wanted. No, 5.76. So, 0 and a bit. Now we take our table and move it back the other way. 0.5 or full 5 millimeters. And that, and there we are. Yep. I know it's good style to get rid of all the little chips there, but honestly, I'm so tickled this is actually working correctly that I'm going to leave them there just because I like it. Like I say, I've wanted one of these since high school. And yes, I realize they're, well, I guess they were kind of last year's rage, whatever, but this year seems to be surface grinders. But I don't care. I've never been fashionable. And I got one because I wanted one. There we go. That should be to depth and to width. Yeah. 33.12. Come on. That says 7.04. Now, one handy thing is I do actually have a 7mm key kicking around, and that, yeah, there we go. Slides in there and just nicely. There we are. We are done. A little bit of deburring and we're good to go. That was cool. That makes me happy. Awesome. Very thankful for this machine. So yeah, again, after making a project over again, as I say, that unit there was round number. Well, anyway, yeah, this is the first completed tool for holding a Keyway cutter. I didn't like the results, so as I say, we redid it. I'm much happier with this one. Much more rigid through the center there. Yeah, I like it. Now, the threads on both of them are good. So I mean, threads and diameters. This here is just a smidge small, but it still works. This may get repurposed down the road for another tool, maybe a short one or a smaller diameter for smaller bores. Who knows? But yeah, definitely like that guy. As I say, the washer, try it the other way around. It's a nice fit on there. As I say, I am really happy about that, so very thankful. And it, well, proof is in the pudding. Cut a really nice Keyway. Now, I realize it's aluminum, buys me a little bit of forgiveness, but ultimately it works, so I'm thankful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all who just want to come hang out in my shop with me. If you've subscribed, that's awesome. Thanks for doing that. Comments are awesome. Likes are great too. If you haven't subscribed or you're just passing through, that's totally cool. Thanks for coming by. Otherwise, yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you all for all your support. Yeah, I'll see you next video.